Hello all and welcome to my channel DevOps Mela. In this video tutorial we'll talk about Azure Git. Okay, so let's understand what exactly Azure Git is and what all things we would be doing in this entire video tutorial. So firstly we'll understand what exactly Azure Git is. Then we'll set up a new project in Azure DevOps. Then we'll have an end-to-end demo session. So in that demo session we'll be creating branches, multiple branches. We'll see what are the policies and how do we set the policies in Azure Git. We'll clone a Azure Git repository on a local system. We'll create certain files. We'll push those changes to the remote repository, that is Azure Git. We'll see how the cherry picking thing works in Azure. I'll walk through how we can revert any changes in Azure. We'll understand the various types of commits like merge commits, squash, rebase, and semi-linear merge commits in Azure. So before wasting any of the time, let's directly jump on and let's start with the session. Okay. And if you guys are new to my channel, please like, share, and please do subscribe to my channel, guys. Okay. If you guys subscribe it, and if you like and put your comments, what you like, what you dislike, please put down in your comments. And if you want anything new to be added, please let me know. And please do subscribe to my channel. Okay. Thank you. Let's move on. So what exactly is Azure Git? Okay. So Azure Git, as we know, it's a repository management tool. Okay. In the market, similarly, we have GitLab, GitHub, Bitbucket. So the similarity is they all are a repository management tool. Okay. In the backend, even Azure uses Git itself. So again, Git, as we know, Git is a very known version control tool. Okay. I'm not gonna cover more about Git in this video tutorial, but if you want to know more about Git, please check my videos. Check my playlist. You'll find a Git like elaborated Git tutorial, which is very helpful. Wherein within 30 to 40 minutes, I'm teaching complete Git end to end. Okay, please check. Okay, so let's jump on to Azure DevOps and let's create a new project. If you guys are new to Azure DevOps, so just go on dev.azure.com and sign in. Okay, that's free. You can sign in for free. I've already have an account, so I will not do it. It will take me directly to my project name. The test Rohit KS is my project name, so it took directly to that project because I'm already signed in. If you guys are not signed, if you don't have an account, please sign into dev.azure.com. Okay, these are some known projects. This is again a part of my tutorial. So if you want to know how exactly I have created all these projects and everything, please check my Azure DevOps series video. Okay, so I'll quickly start with creating a new project. I'll give a project name as Azure Git project. Just copy paste the same in description. I'll keep it as private. Okay, I'm not making it public. I'm keeping it as a private. In version control tool, we have multiple options. We'll have Team Foundation version control and Git. So we'll stick with Git. It's a if you talk about TFVC, so that is a centralized version control. So, and wherein on the other hand, Git is a distributed version control. Okay. Work item process, I'm keeping it basic. What exactly work item process is, please check my old video because in this video we are just focusing more on Azure Git. Okay, thank you. Let's create a project. As soon as we create a project, a repository would be created by default. We'll have a repository created, set Azure Git project. So if you see, I have a repository created. This is the link which we can use to clone it. So the repository name is Azure Git project. Okay, if you want, you can use the same repository, or if you want, you can click on this and you can create a new repository. There's one more option to import. If you have a Git repository in GitHub or GitLab, so you can directly give that link and you can import it directly in Azure Git. Okay, there are multiple options of managing how to manage repository. This is what we will talk in future later. So this is the place wherein you can manage all your repositories. Okay, so I'm not creating. I already have a Git Azure Git repository created, so I'll be using the same one. So what I'll do, I'll clone this on my local. So I would be playing a developer role wherein I will cloning a repository. I'll put down some codes, then I'll push it. Okay, so let's do that. Let's do that way. So I've already copied the link. Let me open Git Bash. Okay, I'm using Git Bash. If you guys want to download Git on Windows, just type Git for Windows. Okay, it will take you to the Git official website. Okay, you can just download this. I'm using a 64-bit setup, so just download this file and do next, next, next. You'll be able to download Git on your system. Okay, so as soon as it gets downloaded, if you type Git, you'll get Git Bash, Git GUI, Git CMD. So whichever mode you like, you can use it. So I'm very familiar with this Git Bash shell, so that's why I'm using Git Bash. Okay guys, let's go ahead and let's clone the repository. The command to clone is git clone, and just put the link which we just copied from Azure Git. Okay, this is the link, HTTPS link. I just clicked here and copied and just ran the command git clone. If you see, there's a folder created, Azure Git, and inside it there's a .git folder. This gets created when you initialize the Git repository. Okay, okay, let's go inside that folder, Azure Git. Okay, so in order to go inside the folder, the command is cd. Cd is for change directory, followed by the folder name. So I am in desktop right now. I've created this folder on my desktop. Okay, so if you see, it's pointing into the master branch right now. So we are in master branch. Okay. So let's add few files in the master branch before we move in. We'll do echo. Let's create hello world, and I'll just name it as hello.txt. Just click. So it's a simple file. Hello.txt is got created. I'll just add it. I'll do a commit. My first commit. Okay. So this is what a typical developer does. This is very simple, very straightforward. So the commit what we did, this is a local commit. Till now my Azure DevOps is not aware that you made some commit. So in order to push all the changes from my local machine to my remote machine, this is the command git push origin. We can define that origin as Azure Git origin and master. So this way, master is the branch name. We can push the change. So this is the origin where it got pushed. If you want to see the git origin, see this is the origin which is already defined. I'm not going through all this command for now because we are just focusing more on Azure Git. If you want to know, please check my Git video. Okay, thank you. Now if you refresh this page, here we go. It's a master branch and this is the hello world what we have created. Okay, so let me walk you through. So inside Azure DevOps, this is the repository segment wherein you can see all your information. Okay, if you click on files, this is the page where you land up. At the left hand side, you see the repository name, followed by all your codes would be visible over here. Okay, there are multiple options, like if you want to clone this repository, if you want to fork this repository, if you want to create a new file, new folder, if you want to upload it directly, if you want to download as a zip. So these are the options which you can select. On the right hand side, if you come, you'll see the branch where you are right now. So you are in master branch right now. Okay, and these are the file. So what are the codes, and if you want to have a quick glimpse like what exactly is the content of the file, you can just click on the file and you can see it. History will have complete history about the commits and who is the developer who has committed and everything. Compare, you can easily compare with your previous version. So as if now I have nothing to compare, this is the only file I have, so you can compare it. Blame, again, blame is nothing but you'll see all the developer's name with the commit ID and who has made what changes. That's it, nothing else. So name is given as blame, you don't have to go and blame somewhere. Okay. Edit, if you want to edit directly from here, even that is possible, like how we did hello world. Similarly, I'll add hello again. So new change, what I'm doing, I'll commit. So this is the change directly. I'm doing it inside the Azure Git. Okay, updated hello.txt to the master branch. Work item, this is again if you want to track what exactly you're doing. So then you can create a work item. Clicked, committed, has been pushed. Now if you see hello again, if you see a history, again there's a change done by me. Okay, on local it is Rohit KS, on over here I'm using test.rohit KS. Compare, again left hand side is your previous version, right hand side is the updated latest version what you have. Okay, okay, so this is from directly from Azure Git, you can do it. Okay, there are multiple options which I'll be walking through. Again, over here we have clone, fork, download, delete if you want to delete this file and everything. Okay, so in commit section, again you'll see the same similar information wherein who has committed and when exactly it was committed. If you go inside it, you again have more information what exactly was committed, which file was committed, and that information can be visible over here. Details, in details you'll get a complete details what was the message. So we remember we typed my first commit, so this is what it is reflecting with the author name, who is the author, who has committed, who has pushed the change. So all that information would be visible over here. Okay, and if you see this commit, you'll see a very good uh, bifurcation what was the previous commit and what was added. So this plus sign, if I remove it, you'll see a minus sign over here. Okay, so this is inline. Again, if you want to do a side by side, you can have a side by side look as well. Okay, so again, if you come to pushes, if you see how what all code was pushed to this Azure Git, you can see in this segment like who has pushed and what exactly was pushed. Branches, again, we only have right now we only have one single branch, that is a master branch, so that's why it's the only master branch is visible. We'll create multiple branches and we'll see all those options like cherry pick, revert, tagging, and many things. Okay, I'll cover this tags and pull requests later. Let's do one thing, let's create one more branch, a develop branch, and let's see how it works. So if you want to create a branch directly in Azure Git, come to branches over here, there's an option to create new branch. Okay, let's name it as develop. Okay, so over here you can select whether you want to create a based on master. So you can create, so your develop branch will have all the files which is there in master. So let's create that. Okay, if you see we are in develop branch, as if it's a develop over here, and we have all the files hello.txt which was there in master branch 2. Okay, now let's go back to master if and see this. In master we have the branches, we have the commit number, we have the author who has created and who has committed. So if someone else comes in, a second developer has committed the latest change, so his commit ID and his name would be visible. Okay, and the author name would be visible with a timestamp. Behind, ahead, again if you see My develop branch is my master branch has few tags like default. These are the default branch. Like if you clone this repository, master branch copy will be cloned. Okay, so like suppose a new developer comes in, if he clones, so whatever files we have it in master, that files will be cloned in his local system. Okay, because we have set master as a default. Comparison, so all the other branches are getting compared with develop branch with master branch right now. So as if now it is 0 0 because there is no change. So it's a develop branch is exact replica copy of master. Okay, status and pull. Status is more when we have a CI/CD pipelines integrated with this repository, then you can see the status. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's pull the changes, whatever changes we have it on a remote repository. So let's do this. Let's do a git pull origin master. So we have few changes, like we added hello again. So I'm just pulling that change. So this is the command. So if I go and look my hello text again, txt. So even on my local I have hello again. Okay. Let's switch to, okay. So if I go and check on my local, okay, we have hello again over here again. Okay, let's check out one develop branch on my local as well. So this is the command git checkout -b develop. So it will create a develop branch locally, as well as it will check out to develop branch. Okay, now let's add few more files. Echo, let's name it as Java code here and name it as java.txt, and let me add and commit Java code. I'll just push this change, push origin. I'm pushing it to my develop branch, not to my master. Okay, so that's why I'm mentioning origin develop. So the changes will get pushed in my develop branch. Okay, let me add one more commit. I want multiple commits so that I can show you how do we cherry pick and those things. Okay, so let's add echo. Let name it as .NET code. Net code. Net.txt. Git commit. Okay, I'm just giving the simplest way. Over here all your development code will come. Okay, so I'll just do a push again origin develop. Okay, let's go back to my Azure Git and let's see the files. Okay, so if you see develop branch, I have my java.txt, java code.net.txt. Okay, so it's net code over here. Now if I switch to my master branch, okay, I don't have those files. Okay, so it will take me to the new topic. How do we how do we merge the develop and the master branch? Okay, now let's switch back to develop. Okay, okay, so there are multiple changes over here. So if I do a pull request, so again let's come to a pull request. Okay, so in this we can create a pull request between develop and the master branch. So when we do a pull request, the complete develop branch, whatever changes are there in the develop branch, it will get pulled and it will get merged with the master branch. And if you check the branches now, my develop branch is ahead. Okay, there are two new changes in develop branch which is not part of master. That's why it's showing as ahead. Okay, let's create a pull request. So just click on new pull request. At the top, if you see, it's develop already selected and it's going in master. Files, there are two changes. There are two commits. Okay, you can give a title, merging develop with master. Whatever you want to give, you can give it. You can, if you click over here, you'll get all the commit message automatically. Reviewers, it's good to add reviewers, so I'll add myself as a reviewer. It's even good to add work items, like what exactly you're doing, that needs to be tracked. If you want to give some tag, this is not your version control tag. Okay, this is just you're tagging this particular pull request, like what exactly changes you're doing, like it's an application change, application code based change, so you can just tag that way. So anyone coming in and checking this pull request, they will come to know that this is an application code based change. Okay, I create a pull request. Okay, it automatically checks if there's a conflict. If there's any conflict, it will prompt you that there was a conflict and you need to fix that conflict. Description is right over here, and the person who and if you want to add any comments like please check we have added this code, those comments and everything can be visible right over here. Okay, and at the right hand side, if you come, you have reviewers. So if you want to have some required reviewers added, without his approval or her approval, this pull request will not get completed. So you can have a required approval over here. As if now I'm been added as a optional review. Okay, now if you see the tag which we just added while creating this pull request, it's added. Work items, if you want to link any work items, you can just link your work items directly over here. Okay, at the top now we have the approve with suggestion, wait for author, reject. So this is what I can do because I've added myself as approver. So similarly you can do it. Complete, mark as draft or abandoned. These are the options. Now if you check the files, so these are the changes which is getting merged with master branch now. Updates, so these are the commit history, what we are updating, what will get updated. Like if I push this, these commit history will get be pushed. Commits, these are the two set of commits. So what I can do now, I can just approve this. It's been approved. If you see, uh, Rohit has approved the pull request. Okay, now I can click on complete. Okay, so if I click on complete, we have different type of merge over here. Let's understand that first before even jumping and doing this complete merge, because we are doing a squash commit. Let's understand what exactly is that. Okay, so there are four types of commit. Merge commit, what you can do, merge type I can say, that is merge, that is no fast forward, squash commit, rebase and fast forward, semi-linear merge. Okay, so what exactly is this merge commit? Okay, so merge commit is the default integration strategy in Azure repos. Okay, so by default, people developer prefer doing a merge commit. The what how this strategy is helpful. So this strategy will safeguard all the commits and it will have a non-linear commit base. Okay, so if you see this graph, so it is safeguarding all the commits and it's creating a non-linear history. If it's written over here, it's a non-linear history preserving all commits. So this strategy is helpful if you want to track down like who has done what commit was done. Okay, squash commit. Okay, so if you talk about squash commit, the squash commit will create a new commit. When you do use a squash commit, it will squash all your previous commits, so you won't see the previous commit history. It will squash everything as one single commit, and in the master branch you will see just one single commit. So tracking down, backtracking things would be very difficult, but again, it creates a linear commit. Okay, let's create a linear commit with a clear history. Linear history with only a single commit on the target. So read out over here. Linear history with only a single commit at the target. So use squash commit very wisely. If your project has demand wherein you have to backtrack all the commits, never go with squash commit. Okay. Again, if you talk about rebase and fast forward commit, okay, so again it's very interesting. Rebase will take each individual commit in the pull request and cherry pick them onto the master branch. So in simple word, this strategy is used. Its history is straight, and as well as it will create a linear commit for you. So if you see this graph, it, 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 it is just taking the header and it is moving it. It is creating a linear history for you. At the same time, it is even preserving all the commits. So rebase source commit onto target and fast forward. Okay, let's talk about semi-linear merge commit. So semi-linear merge commit is most exotic merge commit in Azure DevOps, wherein it is a mix of a rebase as well as merge commit. Okay, so let's see this. In semi-linear, what exactly happens? The rebase source commit onto the target and it creates two parent merge. So this strategy is more like if you want to backtrack everything, so individual commits are retained, you can see how the work has evolved. So this is again a very good merging strategy in Azure DevOps. Okay, mostly projects they prefer merge commit wherein they have all the individual commits retained, and they also prefer squash commit wherein when they are merging, when the production deployment is done, everything looks good, when they're merging the entire thing to the master branch from the release branch, at that time they use squash commit because they don't want to retain or they don't want to junk all those individual commit onto the master branch. So at that time they prefer squash commit. Okay, we'll do merge commit itself in a video tutorial. I'll show you both commits, merge as well as squash. Okay, over here we have multiple options like complete associated work item. So if you check this box, your associated work item will get closed or it will be marked as completed. Delete develop after merging, we don't do this. If this option is checked, your develop branch will be deleted. Customize merge commit message, if you want to customize this message, you can do that. Okay, we are doing nothing from here. We'll just simply will create a complete merge. Okay, so the merge was completed. If you see the merge was completed, now let's go to branches. And if you go to master branch, in the master branch, if you see, we have this two changes. Java.txt and net.txt files are there. Okay, so now let's come back. Let's imagine you get a scenario where whatever things you have merged to master, it has a bug. Now you want to revert those changes. So how do we revert in Azure Git? So Azure Git is very simple. The revert process is very simple. Let's simply go in commits. In master branch, let's go in commits. I'll show you how do we revert. Okay, now if you see, there's a very good looking graph. As we did a merge commit, we have a Java code, .NET code commit history as well as in my master repository. Okay, because we did a merge commit, we have all the individual commits right now. And we have a merge created over here. This is the latest. This is the merge which was created, wherein we have added two text files, Java and .NET. Okay, now if you want to do a revert, and the top of it, three dots, if you see, there's an option. Cherry pick, we'll see what exactly cherry pick is. Revert, and we'll see this revert option. Create tag and new branch, we'll see that later. let's create a revert. So as soon as you click on this revert from inside, there's a new branch, a temporary branch gets created. So this is a temporary branch which is getting created out of this commit. Okay, and it's getting created on target branch master because we are reverting changes on master branch. Okay, now if you see, a new pull request was automatically created. So this is again the same form which I just showed you 5 minutes ago. This is the same form which got created. Now if you go inside files, see this, these two files are getting reverted from master branch. We are removing, so there's new revert commit is happening. Okay, let's move it again. If you want to add approver tags, work items, everything, you can do it. I'll just skip all this. I'll just click on commit. Again, this time I'll do a squash commit. Already showed you what exactly merge commit is. Let's do a squash commit. This time I'll delete my temporary branch. I don't want this temporary branch to be there. If I uncheck this, this temporary branch would be visible in the branches. Okay, I don't want that. So I'll just go ahead and make this, revert this. Okay. Now let's go into files. It's completed. See, both the file got removed. If I go in commits, I see a revert now. Now if you see resquash, because we did a squash, so as if we won't get the pen because we're just reverting one commit. So you can see the history, merge commit, and from merge we did the revert commit for this. Okay, so this is what revert is. There's one more important topic, cherry pick. Okay, so let's talk about when exactly would you do cherry pick. Imagine in your company you will have several branching and merging strategies. So basically develop branch is used for all set of developments. So it's not necessary that all your develop work will be put together in production or it will go in production. Out of 100, I would roughly say 10 or 20 development work will be moved to production. Okay, so at that time this pull request will not work, because if you do a pull, everything will get pulled from your develop to master, which is this is something what we don't want. So at that time cherry pick comes in picture, wherein we can cherry pick from develop to master. Okay, let's go in develop branch. Okay, now in develop branch commits, if we go, I have two change, like I have a .NET code and I have a Java code. Okay, if I do a pull request, we already saw that if I do a pull request, everything will get pulled. I don't want that. Out of this Java code and .NET code, I just want to put Java code. Okay, I'm just giving an example, very simple and basic example. So in your development you could have multiple commits. So out of those commits, if you just want to put 10 commits, you can do that. Okay, in my case I'm just putting this Java code into my master branch now, which will go in production. Okay, so as soon as you click on commit, come back over here, this 3 dots, there's an option cherry pick. Okay, cherry pick, where exactly you want to cherry pick from develop? You want to cherry pick to master. I've selected master. Again same thing happens, it creates a temporary branch because you're putting this change into master. Commit ID, so the format is commit ID, this is your commit ID on where you're putting your master. So this is the format what it uses. I click cherry pick. Similar, it will give you the same pull request form, but this time it is just pulling one single commit for you, not the entire change. Okay, it got the description automatically cherry picked. From this temporary branch, it is going in master now. So we have a temporary branch, it's going in master. I'll just go ahead and do a create. Again, I don't want to, if you want to add reviewers and everything, you can add it. Files, this is the only code which is getting one changed. Only file which is getting cherry picked, committed. I'll just click on commit I'll again do a squash commit. I want to delete this master. And if you want to have the individual commits, you can even have you can select merge for that, or you can use rebase passport, or you can use semi-linear. So this would be totally what is your project requirement. Okay. So this would be totally your decision what needs to be done, how you want your changes to reflect. I'll stick to squash. So merging pull request, the changes are happening right now in the backend. It's done. Let's go in files. Let's change the branch to master. See, I just got Java inside it. So this Java code is there inside it, not the .NET one. Now let's go and see commit. If you see commit, I have only this Java code changes. I don't have the way we had the individual commit over here at this line. We don't have it. So this is just Java code, one single commit. That is what squash commit is. Okay, so basically we have covered all the things, all the things, squash, what is semi-linear and everything. The only thing is pending is tagging. How do we tag in Azure Git? Okay, so using Azure Git, if you want to tag, so there's an option tag over here, tags, click on tags, click on new tag. Okay, name it as version 1.0 master added Java code. This was the latest commit what we did, correct? So that latest commit will get tagged automatically. Whatever latest push you do, that will get tagged. See, added. Now if you go in commits, see, it got tagged as version 1.0. Okay, now if you go in files over here as well, you will see the tags. So as soon as you go in the tags, it will take you to that commit. Okay, that's version 1.0. So overall, this was all about Azure Git. Azure Git is very important tool right now in the market, as we are using Azure DevOps a lot. People are migrating from TFS, that's Microsoft version control tool, from TFS on Azure Git. So Azure Git is a very important tool. So guys, if you like this video, please share, subscribe to my channel, and what you like it, what you dislike it, please put it in the comment box. And if you want to learn any new technology, please let me know. Thank you. Keep supporting.